Hi, welcome to this channel. South Sudan is a unique case in modern governance. Officially, it has 5 vice presidents, a structure that was established as part of a peace agreement to balance power among the country's various political and ethnic factions. This arrangement is meant to foster inclusivity and prevent further conflict after years of civil war. While the setup aims to promote peace and stability, critics argue that it creates inefficiencies, increases government spending, and can make decision-making more difficult. Here's a detailed breakdown of how South Sudan came to have 5 vice presidents, who they are, and why this unusual structure was implemented. South Sudan gained independence from Sudan in 2011, after decades of conflict. But soon after independence, the country was plunged into a brutal civil war in December 2013, mainly driven by political rivalry between President Salva Kiir from the Dinka ethnic group and his then deputy Riek Machar from the Nuer ethnic group. In an attempt to end the war, multiple peace agreements were signed, most notably the revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflict in South Sudan, or AARCSS, in 2018. One of the key features of this deal was power sharing, which included reinstating Riek Machar as first vice president. Machar was sacked in 2013 amid accusations of plotting a coup, which led to a devastating civil war. Riek Machar is a member of Nuer ethnic group, prominent politician and former rebel leader, best known for his role in the country's struggle for independence and its subsequent civil conflicts. Machar joined the Sudan People's Liberation Movement Dianche Army, SPLMCA, in 1984, fighting for southern Sudan's autonomy during the Second Sudanese Civil War. In 1991, he split from the SPLMA to form the SPLA Nasir faction, leading to a violent conflict with the SPLMA. His forces were implicated in the 1991 Boer massacre, where at least 2,000 Dinka civilians' lives were taken. After the 2005 peace agreement, Machar returned to the SPLMA and served as the first vice president of South Sudan from 2011 to 2013. In December 2013, he was dismissed by President Salva Kiir, leading to clashes between their forces and the onset of the South Sudanese Civil War. Machar became the leader of the Sudan People's Liberation Movement in opposition, SPLM-IO. Following a peace agreement, Machar returned to Juba in April 2016 and was sworn in as first vice president. However, in July 2016, renewed fighting erupted, forcing him to flee the capital. He returned in February 2020 as part of a transitional government. At the top of the 5 vice presidents is President Salva, Kiir Mayardit. Member of the Sudan People's Liberation Movement, SPLM, and longest-serving president since independence. He held office since the country's independence on July 9, 2011. Born on September 13, 1951, in Akon, southern Sudan, Kiir is a member of the Dinka ethnic group. He began his military career in 1967 with the Anyanya rebel group during the First Sudanese Civil War. In 1983, he joined the Sudan People's Liberation Army, SPLA, led by John Garang, eventually becoming the group's commander. Following Garang's death in 2005, Kiir assumed leadership of the SPLA and became first vice president of Sudan. He later became president of Southern Sudan and upon independence, the first president of South Sudan. His tenure has been marked by efforts to maintain national unity and navigate the complexities of post-independence governance. The other four vice presidents Sao Tashetit second. Vice President is James Wani Iga, who represents SPLM, Kiir's party. He is the former vice president before the 2013 conflict from central Equatoria. Born in 1949 in Krillo, Juba County, Iga is of Bari and Zandithnik groups descent. He joined the Sudan People's Liberation Movement Dutch Army, SPLMA, in 1985, rising to the rank of zonal commander in central Equatoria. He played a pivotal role in the SPLM's political affairs and was instrumental in the civil administration of southern Sudan during the peace negotiations. Third Vice President is Taban Dangai, who represents a splinter group born around 1950 in Kerial, Unity State. Dengai is of Nuer ethnicity. He began his political career as a member of the Sudan People's Liberation Movement in opposition, SPLM-IO, led by Riek Machar. He is a South Sudanese politician and former rebel leader who has held various significant positions in the country's governance. In 2016, Dangai defected from Machar to join the government of President Salva Kiir, and he was appointed as the first vice president, replacing Riek Machar. In 2020, a new power-sharing agreement created additional vice presidential positions. Dangai was appointed as the third vice president, focusing on infrastructure development projects. Fourth Vice President, Rebecca Nyandeng de Mabior, widow of John Garang, South Sudan's liberation hero. She represents the former detainees group, a symbol of unity and female leadership. Born on July 15, 1956, from the Dinka ethnic group in Bor, she's a prominent politician and a key figure in the country's struggle for independence and subsequent governance. She pursued military training in Cuba in 1986, reflecting her deep involvement in the liberation struggle. Until February 10, 2025, Hussein Abdelbagi Akol served as the fifth vice president, representing the South Sudan Opposition Alliance, SSOA, coalition of smaller opposition groups. A prominent politician who has played a significant role in the country's political landscape. He was replaced by Josephine Joseph Lag. Josephine is the eldest daughter of Joseph Lagu, a distinguished South Sudanese military leader and politician known for his significant role in the country's liberation struggle. She is affiliated with the People's Democratic Movement, PDM, and was elected in 2019 as the chairperson of the South Sudan Opposition Alliance. As of April 2025, South Sudan is experiencing a significant political and security crisis, raising concerns about a potential return to full-scale civil war. Tensions between President Salva Kiir and First Vice President Riek Machar have escalated sharply. In March, Machar was placed under house arrest, and several of his allies were detained, leading his party, the SPLM-IO, to declare the 2018 peace agreement effectively void. Clashes have intensified in Upper Nile State, particularly around Nasir, where government forces and the newer White Army militia have engaged in deadly confrontations. The UN reports at least 180 deaths and 125,000 people displaced since March. the United Nations has warned that the situation mirrors conditions that led to the devastating civil wars of 2013 and 2016, urging immediate action to prevent a relapse into widespread conflict. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to this channel. Stay blessed.